What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Dallas Mavericks podcast. Go Mavs tonight. Let's go get one.
Dude, this guy Hammer, man, he's been busting my balls all series, and he's a Heat fan, and we all saw what just happened to them. So I don't get why he's
Yeah,
busting
Jimmy
my.
Butler got
And you know
injured.
what? You know what? I supported the Heat. And then Hammer comes in here just trolling, tearing the Thunder down just because they're a young team. He just doesn't love that we got the 1 seed. They were whatever 8, 7 seed, whatever. So I'm ecstatic for the Thunder. I think we even the series tonight. You guys will be already know what happens. So not like this hype could be for nothing. I could be crying tomorrow morning, and I'm just happy right now
Yeah,
recording this.
Mavs will be up 3-1 because Kyrie's from Jersey and Jersey rocks. Jersey guys, we get it done. So you know what's going down tonight. Yeah, I'm a Heat fan. Whatever. Jimmy Butler got injured. Whatever. See you
Dude,
next season.
I can't stand Luca. I just can't.
But
Like I've become a hater of Luca, and
why?
I don't love it,
What's
but
up?
I just can't stand the guy. I can't stand him. I had no problem with him, and then I watched the series and I see him complaining every 2 seconds. The refs always bitching 24/7. I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. He's a flopper that bitches about other people flopping. I can't take it. Anyways, Hammer,
Sounds like
what do we
sounds like
got today?
Jenks. Sounds like Jenks talking about Derek Carr during the season. All right.
What do we
Well,
got today?
welcome to the Jenks Center podcast. All right, that was just fun and games. No hate. Go Thunder. Like, nah, but I mean, real talk. We're here to talk football, not stupid basketball. Jenks is a Thunder fan. We'll see what happens. But on today's episode, we're going to be doing power rankings, updated kind of power rankings. Got some fun tiers. We're going to be breaking down every team, 32 teams, putting them in what tier we feel is best for them for the upcoming 2024 NFL season. This is post free agency, post draft. I'm excited. Let's get right into it.
All right, so I'm gonna pull up these tiers right here, Hammer. So you're starting it off. What's
Ooh,
happening
the
with you?
Saints, baby. The first team up is the Saints for you, for those not watching on YouTube. You know, the Saints are in a crappy division. I like their draft. They didn't really do anything in free agency. They couldn't really. They got Chase Young. You know, I think they won 8 games last year, right, Jenks?
We were 9-8, I believe.
9-8. You won 9.
I think
I
so.
think you
Yeah,
guys
yeah,
are.
yeah. We
We need to
tied.
know
We
your
tied.
record.
We won 9. We went 9-8. We tied with the Bucks, and we didn't get him because the Bucks beat the Panthers week 18.
And the Packers had the tiebreaker over you guys. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Um.
Wait,
So
real quick, Hammer. I just want to shout out something real quick. I was re-listening to our Ross Jackson episode. I'll kind of link that. He called that the Saints Packers game was going to be a deciding factor in the playoffs last year, and said it was going to be like a one-score game, which it ended up being. So Ross called it all the way, but really big shout out just to last year. Anyways, Hammer, kick us off.
yeah, like I said, bad division, decent offseason, good draft. You know, they're just a mid team. Like they're a mid team to me. But with them being in the not the best division, I think it gives them a chance to make the playoffs, maybe as a wild card and maybe as a division
Oh,
winner. So I'm
let's
putting them at the fringe.
go. Let's go, Hammer. You know what you're talking about. I agree. I don't see us being contenders right off the bat unless Derek Carr and obviously starts clicking in the new offense. But I think fringe playoff team, especially in a shit division, is the right way to go. Second team, we got the Seattle Seahawks, a team that, kind of depends on its quarterbacks. Like, they have solid weapons, right? They have a solid defense. They've been adding to that. They've been kind of trying to build back to the Legion of Boom. New head coach, Mike McDonald's coming in. But the thing is, I just think they're in a very tough division right now. I think the Rams are moving up in the right direction. I think the Rams jumped them. I think the Seahawks are moving in the right way, but they're not a fringe playoff team right at the moment.
What? You don't think they're fringe?
I don't think they're
Wow.
fringe. I do not think they're
I
fringe.
would put them in the fringe, but okay.
The reasoning, like, right, only 7 teams can make it. The NFC, it's getting a little bit stronger. And I think the NFC East gets 2 teams in. I think the NFC
Yep.
South could get 1 team, possibly 2. They all have easy schedules yet again, so depending on how they do. And then the NFC North, like we got like 2, 3 teams possibly from there as well, depending on how they perform. So there's a lot going on in the NFC right now, and I just don't know if the Seattle Seahawks are going to be on that fringe spot.
Interesting. Next team we got the Cleveland Browns. This is a fun team. You know, this is a team that shocked a lot of people last year with, the situation at quarterback. Of course, Nick Chubb went down. They fight. They fought and they scrapped and they found their way in the playoffs. Yes, they lost to the Houston Texans, who were red hot at the time, but they got a good core there. They like run the football, good offense line, good defense. We'll see if Deshaun, oh, that was weird. Deshaun Watson can make that kind of jump and leap. Because I feel like me and Jenks talked about this last time we were doing power rankings. He's kind of the only thing holding back this Browns team, but I'm gonna put them at fringe playoff team.
I can
Uh,
agree with that. I
right,
can agree
just
with that.
because I think the division is extremely tough, but they're so just like even. I think you got to put them at probably 2 or 3. Right, we got to see if Cincinnati bounces back, Steelers, and I think I might put the Browns still above them. So yeah, fringe playoff team.
Don't forget Hammer. You got a new QB2 down there named
And
Jameis
and
Winston. Get
that
ready to
and that.
eat some W's and
Don't ever do that again. All right,
poss-
move on to the next team.
and possibly to take Deshaun Watson's job. So Browns could be a team to watch out for. Anyways, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars coming in next team, and this is a team that I've talked about. I did a hot take, it was short, the other day about Trevor Lawrence. Is he the future? Obviously, he's had decent seasons the past 2 years. He's thrown for 4,000 yards, 25 plus touchdowns, things like that. But at the same time, like he came into the league, was a ridiculous prospect, and he just hasn't done what you would hope for the Jaguars the last few years. Like he just hasn't. The Jaguars were extremely hyped up last season with the addition of Calvin Ridley. Their offense was and Travis Etienne, nonetheless, and yeah, Travis Etienne kind of excelled in that role last year. And I just think I don't know they were a really big what's it called a really upsetting team for all their fans. They didn't even make the playoffs. I think they're going to be trending in the right direction, but I don't see them as a fringe playoff team right now. I just don't.
Next team we got is the Colts. The Colts are pretty interesting, right? They drafted Anthony Richardson last year. He looked good, gets banged up, out the rest of the season. They were close to making the playoffs. They missed it by a game, losing to the Texans in a win and in situation, I believe, in week 18. This is a good team. They had a really good draft. Really good draft. Got Latu, first defensive player off the board. They got AD Mitchell, some good offensive alignment. I like what they're doing. Looks like they got the quarterback. He's got to learn how to slide, but I'm going to put the on the right way up. Not a fringe playoff team yet, but they're on the right way up.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at it, Anthony Richardson. Yeah, he flashed so much last season, even though he only played like what 6, 7 games,
Yeah.
if that. Like he's just his injuries. Got to figure that out. But they're definitely. I think they're going to jump the Jaguars this upcoming season, in my book at least. Next, you got the Rams, a team that had a great draft class, very defensive focused. I'll put it that way, like 100%. They focused 100% on defense. At least that's how it felt, and I think that team, they have the offense that they want. Matt Stafford, they traded for him, obviously, to win the Super Bowl and be that quarterback to lead these young guys to the playoffs, everything like that. And I'm going to put them in the contenders range because I think they're going to be playoff contenders this season. And I think, so we have juggernauts and contenders. I'd say contenders for us is any teams that makes the playoffs or is a contender to excel in the playoffs, anything like that. So I'm going to put the Rams there. Just with Matt Stafford and a solid defense, anything can happen.
Yeah, and they had a really good draft. And they got one of the best coaches in the league. Next up, we got the Giants. Make that nice and quick. Whale poop. All right. Next team.
Right straight to the whale poop for them. Yeah, Malik Neighbors. I feel bad for the guy. He talked about him having a $10,000 wager for offensive
Yeah, let's
rookie of
just
the
keep it
year.
simple, Jenks. He looks depressed, looks
Wait,
pissed
but
off to
yeah,
be there. And
he already called it off.
Dan-
He
yeah,
went through
Daniel
one
Jones
practice. He's like, oh shit,
stinks.
I'm not doing anything with Daniel Jones. Whale poop.
Yeah.
Next,
Next.
we
Oh,
got the
look who
foul
you
clown.
get next. Look who you
We
get
get the
next.
foul clowns, a team that all Saints fans know and hate, and the team that chokes the most in the league. I think Kirk Cousins, obviously, they signed him. They went into the draft and got Michael Penix Jr. with their first round pick. Everyone was shocked. It's tough. I'm gonna put them in the fringe playoff team, but I don't want to. Obviously, if anything, I would put them in the moving the wrong way because I'm a Saints fan. But they got their quarterback, and it's a tough division or a shitty division, like we've been saying. So they're there, but I think the Saints beat them in the division. Is my hope.
Interesting. So, like for me, I mean, you sign Kirk Cousins, they have a good free agency. I think that puts you at the right way, maybe fringe. And then you take Michael
Mhm.
Penix at 8. That could bring him down the wrong way because what was that draft pick that sends you down the wrong way? But I mean, for the division they're in, you had Kirk
Yeah,
Cousins, who is hands down the best quarterback in the division right now. I mean, I guess you got to put him as fringe playoff team. So yeah, I
yeah.
agree. I agree.
If they're in any tougher division, they're
Yeah.
better.
Arizona Cardinals next. One of the worst teams in football last year, but you get Marvin Harrison Jr. You get another first round pick in um, Darius Robinson from Missouri. They had a bunch of picks.
Mhm.
We'll see if Kyler Murray can like kind of have a bounce back year this year. But young team. They're not going in with any expectations. I thought they had a pretty good draft. I think they could have done better on that second first round pick, but had a good draft. I'm gonna put them, right way, right? How can you not? Just because of the draft, basically. That's all I'm gonna say about that, right? Right way trending
Yeah,
up because guess what? Besides Caleb Williams, you can have this debate. They probably took the best prospect in the draft, right? They took the best guy in the draft. So, the right way, trending up, I would say.
yeah. Next team, we got the Miami Dolphins, a team that Tua's obviously the quarterback down there. He's looking for an extension in this season or the next. Um, they got a lot of weapons. Obviously, they drafted another running back. They just picked up OBJ. And obviously McDaniel knows what he's doing down there. He knows how to run that offense. But we've seen them let us down in the playoffs the last two years. Like it's just they're not playoff risers. They're playoff um, ballers, whatever you want to call it. I think they're a fringe playoff team. I don't think they're a contender at this moment in time. With that division, I think I'd put two teams above them in that division at the moment. So Dolphins, you're going in the fringe.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think the only way to see this team really succeed is they need the number one seed because they cannot go on the road and play in
Yeah.
a cold environment like Buffalo, Kansas City, etc. Next is Buffalo Bills. This is interesting.
Woo-hoo.
This is very interesting. Tough division, right? You got the Jets, Dolphins. They're good up until the playoffs. Bills lost a lot. You got Josh Allen though. I like the draft. I like Keon Coleman a lot. I
Love
think he
Keon.
could be the best receiver, the rookie receiver this year, just based off situation. I know he, was probably the fifth or sixth guy taken, but I think based off the spot he is, I think, you know, this is tough. It's either fringe playoff. I
See him.
mean, I gotta look. I'm
I
a
think they're
quarterback
underrated.
guy. I'm gonna put him contender.
Yep. I think it's the
As
way.
long
I
as
think
you
it's,
have, as long as you have Josh Allen, like as long as you have a top elite quarterback, you always have a chance to win. That's just a
mhm.
fact. So, put him at contender. They're definitely. I would say this though. They're definitely towards the end of contenders.
Okay.
To be
That's
fair.
fair. That's
Okay.
fair. Yeah, and I think you're just absolutely right with Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I think I kind of said when we did our pre-draft uh, power rankings, I put them at 10 because they're that lower range, but Josh Allen and everything else on that team, their fans, their home field environment puts them in that advantage, and I think they're going to be contenders to
Yeah.
possibly upset some people in the playoffs this year. Next, you got the Panthers. Himmer, put him in the whale poop. I don't care
No
for the
comment. No
Panthers.
comment.
I They still have Bryce Young. I don't think he's going to turn anything around. They got a couple good players in the draft, but I didn't love it. I really didn't, and I don't care for the Panthers. I don't think they're doing anything under that ownership right now. So put them
Okay.
in whale poop.
Well, make that two in a row. We got the Chicago Bears next. They go in the whale
No,
poop.
no, you can't.
All right,
No,
look, look,
no.
look, look. I'll put them. I'm gonna put them right way.
Right
Right?
way.
They think
Yes.
they got their quarterback. Think they got another receiver. Made some moves. Got Keenan Allen. This and that. Look, they're on the right way up. I'm not gonna put them at fringe playoff team because the NFC is gonna be tricky with these wild cards, and they're in a division where the third. Right? You're not gonna put them over Green Bay. You're not gonna put them over Detroit. So I'm gonna put them right way up, and we're gonna leave it at that. Lucky, I'm
Next,
even doing that. They should be next to Carolina, but whatever.
no, that's the right spot for them. I put the Falcons in fringe. You can put the Bears the right way. Anyways, we got the Bengals coming up next. The team that obviously Joe Burrow's there. They can do anything. I'm going to put them in the fringe playoff teams.
Wow,
I'm
fringe.
not putting them contenders because obviously health has been a very tough spot for them the last few years, and I think their division's really good. I do, and I think obviously they can make the playoffs. I think they can. It's up to that health and Joe Burrow, T. Higgins. Is he going to stay? Is he not? Whatever's going on there. Right now, there's a lot of things going on. Till it all settles down, I'm going to put them in the fringe right now. I think it's fair.
Interesting. Next is the Cowboys. This is interesting. I mean, based on the roster, right, you want to kind of put them on contenders, but this team, like the Miami Dolphins, I mean, not to the same extent, but similarly to the Miami Dolphins, they just don't get it done when it matters the most in the postseason. Jordan Love, first playoff game ever, walked into your house, dropped 48 on your head. I watched the replay of that game this past weekend. It was a phenomenal 2.5 hours in the Hammerley household. I'm going to put them at fringe playoff teams, but I think they're definitely, on the upper tier of that
Yeah. I would
list.
honestly, so like if we had wrong way, I think wrong way is viewed like very low. So we haven't put anyone there. But like right now, honestly, like the Cowboys are moving in the wrong direction, in my opinion. And here's why. Obviously, they came into this offseason saying they're a win now team, they're a contender, everything like that. They didn't go and get themselves a running back, the top dollar free agents. They went and got Zeke. That's not a great move. Then they go into the drafts. They don't go and get anyone crazy. Obviously, they got Tyler Guyton. Solid pick. Solid pick. I'm 100% on board with that. But they didn't get like that stud guy for in the offseason that really bumps them up a level. And so I'd say they're moving in the wrong direction because the Commanders, the Eagles, not the Giants, but those two teams and other teams in the NFC are all moving up and trying to get to that win now spot. And I don't think the Cowboys did that for themselves. So I would put them in the wrong way, but I like the fringe playoff selection. It's not
I
bad.
mean, it's just tough. I mean, you know what? They're always a good regular season team. They're in a crappy division, so I mean, you got to kind of put them kind of fringe playoff
Yeah,
team.
yeah.
But
No, I see what we're doing
but
here.
as like if you're talking about future and I'm talking about for this upcoming season.
Yeah.
But if you want to talk more about like, I mean, yeah, I mean, there are some teams that like just are going flat out going the wrong way. But yeah, there's definitely an argument for Dallas there. Yes.
Next team, we got the Detroit Lions. Hammer, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to put them in the juggernaut section. I'm going to put
Wow.
them in the juggernaut section. And here's why. The team, they improved on defense, right? They improved, if not stayed the same on offense. They just paid Jared Goff a ridiculous amount of money. He's making 53K or 53 mil a year for the next 4 years. And I think they're happy with what they got going on over there. Dan Campbell, he's taking charge every single game, leading them in the right direction. And I think they can go 12-5, 13-4, something like that this season. And so that puts them in that juggernaut title that I put them in.
Okay. Okay. Um, just paid Jared Goff a lot of money.
Yeah, it's an interesting. That's an interesting salary for him. Obviously, he's doing everything right up there, and they feel like he's their quarterback of the future. So I understand it, but 53 mils is a lot of money. It's a
Yeah,
lot.
he's 29, 4 years till he's 33. That's not bad. Maybe you're looking to get rid of him by that age, but interesting. Next we got the Eagles. Had a really fun offseason. This team started off really hot and then ended really, really bad. I don't know. They lost some pieces. They got some, attractive pieces. I'm not the biggest fan of the coach. I think this is going to be a big year for Hurts. I think he's got to prove a lot. Um, and I think there's 2 to 3 teams in the NFC that are better than this team. So I'm gonna put them in contenders,
I
and
think it's
I think they're in more of like the top, but
it's
of
a fair
that
spot.
section. But yeah,
I think it's a fair spot for him. I think obviously they know what they're doing. They're comfortable with what they're doing. They're building that defense. Obviously, Quinion Mitchell and Cooper DeJean in the same draft. That's an amazing start right away. So I think the Eagles, they're going to be contenders. Saquon's there as the running back now. They're going to be a powerhouse in the run game. I like that. I like the contender spot for him. Next, you got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a team that I mean, I'm not crazy on. I'm really not. I think Baker Mayfield had a solid year last year. But I think teams are going to be able to scheme for them a little bit better next season, and I think the Bucks. They were mid last year. They only went 9-8. The Falcons got better. I think the Saints will be better in their second year with Derek Carr. Not anything crazy, but I think they'll be a little bit better. So I'm gonna. This is tough. I guess you put them in the fringe just because of their division, right? But it's tough for me. I want to kind of put them in like if wrong ways just said like mid instead of wrong way because they're not moving in any bad direction. If it was like mid, I would put them
Now
there.
you could make the argument. All right, you only won what 10 or 9 games last year. You won the division, and all you're doing is just bringing back, everyone. You're not adding. So I
Yeah,
mean, you could say that, but yeah, I mean, fringe is the right way. They're good roster, bad weird division. So you don't know how it's gonna play out. Fringe.
exactly.
Next is the Packers. This will be mine, but you can just put you. Where are you gonna put it, Jenks?
Hammer, I'm gonna make you smile here. I think
I
I
know where
talk,
you should put it. You should
you
put it.
know, talked a lot of shit about the Packers last season. I didn't believe in Jordan Love. I said he could do a lot of things. I said he could win 9 games. They could be a solid team. He did that, and then they went into the playoffs and showed that they belong there. They have a young receiver core that I really like. Coach is solid, and Hammer loves how he looks. Thinks he's the most attractive guy in the world. Whatever. I'm gonna put the
Good one.
Packers in the contender
That's
section.
a good one. Good. Good. That's where they belong, right? Because just for me, right? I mean,
Uh,
they had a great year last year, as we all know, youngest team ever to do this and that. And then you add a Josh Jacobs, you add an Xavier McKinney. Through the draft, you fill your needs. You know, it's an exciting time to be a Packer fan. And Jordan Love's extension should be next up. But yeah, I think contenders is definitely the right spot for them. Where do you put them? Me and Jakes were talking about this the other day in the NFC. Put them at 4 or 5. It's 4 or 5. But yeah, Jakes, go get this next team too. I want to hear this.
yeah, so the Texans, we know that they've had a great offseason. Obviously, they went out, made a splash move and going to get Stephon Diggs, and they got Danielle Hunter as well on the defensive side, and that's not even including the draft class. The draft class was kind of meh. It wasn't anything crazy. But the Texans, CJ Stroud alone has built so much hope up for that fan base and that community. So I'm going to put them in the contenders section. Obviously, I think they're winning their division easily. I don't think they're going to get any fight. Maybe the Colts. Maybe the Colts put up a little bit of a fight for that
I don't
division.
know, man. Tennessee, baby.
I don't. I don't know about that yet. Who knows? Maybe Will Levis comes out firing, but I think the Houston Texans are the single-handed like leaders of that division at the moment. So I like them being in the contenders section.
I agree. Next up is Denver Broncos. This is an interesting one. They kind of just they got screwed over, right, with Russell Wilson in a messy situation. I don't really know how they get out of it. I mean, they took Bo Nix at 12. It's just like if you're gonna throw Bo Nix out there, he's not gonna succeed right now. There's not enough around him.
Mm-hmm.
There's no direction of the team. Who knows? I'm putting them the wrong way. I just and it's not them. It's not them. I mean, it is them because they made that decision and contract and made that trade and trade all those picks for this quarterback and Wilson. But like, there's just like, what are they doing right now? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you can put them in whale poop, but like, I'm just gonna we're gonna change it up a little bit, make put it a little different. I'm just gonna put them in the wrong way because the direction of the team is just like we don't know if maybe Sutton's now getting traded. We know Judy went to the Browns, so like, where are they really going? I don't know.
Hey, why don't you switch it to mid? I said we switch it to mid. Like just,
No,
dude, because like, I see where you're going with that, but I would put the Jacksonville Jaguars in like the same sort of situation. Like,
no, that's not. No,
and here's why. Here's why.
no.
Because Jacksonville, they have no shot at winning the division. I don't think they don't really have a shot at
What are you
making
talking
any
about?
doing
No
anything.
shot, dude. They're
They
probably the
don't have
second.
anything.
They're the
They don't
second
really
best
have
team
anything
in
that
their
wants to be
division
done.
right now.
No, I think the Colts are better. I'll stand by
That's
that.
I don't
I'll
know.
stand by it.
You guys see
Okay,
more Richardson, but I'm just saying, like
okay,
Jacksonville's been kind of a
but
mess. Like Trevor Lawrence hasn't lived up to expectations, but like they definitely have a better team and a better opportunity this upcoming season than the Broncos. The Broncos are
yes,
with the Chiefs and the Chargers, the Raiders. Like I'm
Yeah,
just
but
like,
all three of the teams other than the Chiefs are kind of in that same section of just kind of I don't really see them doing anything. You know, that's all
eh,
I'm trying to say.
I think
So I
Chargers are
guess
cringe, but I'm
I
putting
just
them the wrong way.
the wrong way title is just something. It puts me in a weird spot. Anyways, am I doing the Ravens or are you doing the Ravens?
You're doing Ravens. You're next up.
Ravens. Okay, so Ravens. We all know that they added Derrick Henry, King Henry in the offseason. Had a solid draft. And I think the Ravens, they're looking right now. They're looking in the Super Bowl. Obviously,
Yeah, the
they're starting
juggernauts.
off.
My
They're,
opinion.
yeah, they're juggernauts. They're juggernauts. They're starting off the season against the Chiefs. That'll be a tone setter for the rest of the season. But I think the Ravens, they got something special over there. We'll see if they make any late free agency additions, bolster up the roster a little bit more. But I think they're going to be a solid juggernaut.
Next up, San Fran. Keep this nice and simple too. I think we have a run
A
right now
run.
on juggernauts. San Fran juggernauts, best team in the NFC. Looks like they're keeping Ayuk and Debo for at least another year. You know, Brock Purdy seems to be the answer. They're good. They're
Yeah,
good. I hate to say it, but they're
he
good.
fits perfectly in that Shanahan scheme. So
Yep.
I don't see them falling for any reason. Next, you got the Chiefs. Obviously, they're the Super Bowl favorite at the moment. Like they're going to be until Patrick Mahomes leaves. So put them in the juggernaut tier.
Next, we got the Raiders. This is interesting, right? I think this was a team in the draft that we thought had to come away with a quarterback, and they didn't at all. Yes, they signed Minshew, but is that enough? I don't know. They lost Josh Jacobs. Devontae's only getting a little older. They drafted Brock Bowers with their first pick, which was interesting. Yes, best player available, but you did take Michael Mayer pretty highly the year before. I don't know. I don't know what the direction is with this team.
Yeah,
I like bringing back Antonio Pierce as your head coach, but I'm going to put him with the Broncos going wrong
yeah,
way just because I don't. If they came away with Penix or I don't know, even like a Rattler in the third round, maybe I don't. Nah, maybe they still wrong way. If they took Penix, I'm going right way. But
because you see some.
without coming out of the draft without a quarterback, I
It's
don't know how
tough.
you can. Wrong
Yeah,
way.
no, I agree. Wrong way is definitely the way to go for that team. Next, you got the Vikings, a team that they took JJ McCarthy, right? Like a quarterback that they think is plug and play into their system with Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson, and now Aaron Jones as well. But I mean, you saw a couple clips of him at rookie camp where he just like misses like a 10-yard throw to a coach, which is that's pretty bad, dude. I don't know how
Can't wait. Can't wait.
I don't know how that happened. I don't want to put them in the wrong way just because they obviously see where they're going with JJ McCarthy, everything like that. I'm going to put them in the right way. They got their quarterback of the future that they quote unquote, and they think they're going and going to compete in the NFC North. I just don't know if they'll be able to do it against the Packers and the Lions this season, but maybe in years to come, they could be there.
Yeah, you got to pick right way, right? I mean, they think they're future quarterback, and I think they had a pretty good draft overall. Of course, they got Dallas Turner, maybe the best uh, pass rusher in the draft. So
Mm-hmm.
right way, sadly for the Vikings. Look at the NFC North, baby. Lions juggernaut, Packers contender, right way, Bears, Vikings, shaping up to be a pretty good division for years to come. Next, we got the Patriots. Uh, I
Wait,
don't know
hang
why
on.
you're laughing.
How about the NFC South? Three teams in the
Yeah,
fringe.
that's called everyone stinks. Who's gonna win this
One in the
crap
whip.
division? That's what that's called.
Let's go. Let's go.
That's called
Anyways,
the battle
uh,
for mid. We should have like the own section, and it's just like the NFC
NFC
South,
South,
and it's just like the battle of mid. Like
and then the Panthers are
who's
still
gonna be
with
this 8 and 9 playoff team
and
hosting this 12
9-8.
win team? So that's what it's gonna be. Patriots by Belichick. They draft Drake May. I like Drake May. I think he's got a lot of potential. Sadly, I think his career is going to get messed up because he is
Mm-hmm.
going to get thrown in the fire right away.
Mm-hmm.
And he's one of the guys that needs to sit for a year or two and develop because he has a skill set. And that's not going to happen. They're going to throw him in the fire right away. New England sucks. They have nothing around him. And he's going to lose confidence and not play well. And he will be on a different team in 2-3 years. I'm putting them in whale poop. That's a bold prediction right there.
See, I was going to put him in wrong way because
Whale
like
poop
they got
because
their quarterback, but I agree that I just don't think they have anything
no,
going
they're
for
not wrong way because it's not like there's like they drafted their future quarterback, they drafted their guy, but there's
them.
nothing around him.
They
You're
didn't give him
not
what they
doing it.
needed.
You're
Yeah,
not doing anything in the division. You're gonna come in fourth place.
yeah.
Whale
They're
poop.
whale poop. That's bold words from John Hammerly. Anyways, next we got the Jets with Aaron
Keeping it
Rodgers.
real. Just keeping it real on the Dallas Mavericks podcast. Go Luca. Go Kyrie. Go PJ Washington. Go Mavs. Go
Dude,
Mavs.
I'm gonna have nightmares about PJ Washington. Anyways, the Jets coming in with Aaron Rodgers. They signed Mike Williams, or they traded for him, whatever they did to get him. And they also went and got Malachi Corley in the draft, and they got Alu Pashanu, one of our favorite tackles in the draft class. I'm going to put him in the contenders tier. I think they're
Yeah.
obviously Aaron Rodgers. As long as he's healthy, they're contenders. He was going to be healthy last year. He got hurt because they couldn't block within 3 plays of a game. So sucks to
Yeah.
suck for the Jets, but I think they're back to contenders.
Totally. No. Yeah. I mean, had a really good offseason. They went tackle with that first first round pick, which I
Mm-hmm.
felt was the right way to go. Not tight end. Made some other good moves to get Rodgers. Good defense. You got to put them in contenders, even though it's the Jets. Next is the Chargers. They got their coach. They got Joe Alt, the best offensive lineman in the draft. Who they get receiver again, Jenks?
They got Lad,
They
White
got
Boy
Lad.
Lad. Let's go.
They got Lad. I like it. I like the Chargers. I don't expect a playoff berth this year, but in years to come with Justin Herbert, yes. But I think they're going in the right way. I like the draft. I like the head coach hire. It's the right way, but not a playoff team yet.
I agree. I agree. Next, you got a team, the Steelers, that I think has a very intriguing path ahead of them the next couple seasons. Obviously, they went and got Russell Wilson. Then they went and got Justin Fields. That quarterback room alone is intriguing in itself because Russell Wilson, was it his fault or the Broncos' fault over there in Denver? That's a discussion that's going to be proven whether or not one way or the other. In Pittsburgh, they got solid receiver core. They got a couple running backs down there for a double-headed monster. They got rid of their play caller, Matt Canada. That was literally the worst. Him and Pete Carmichael, just two looking twins that sucked in calling plays. I'm going to put them in the right way. I think they're moving in the right direction, even though I don't see them winning their division, anything like that. But I think they're moving in the right direction to possibly go win some games this year. So, Hammer, what do you think? You
What do you
agree
want to put
or
them?
right way? Right way.
Right way. Yeah. I mean, it's the Steelers. Mike Tomlin. They win. They make the playoffs, even when we think their team isn't good enough and it's a tough division. I'd put them in fringe playoff teams because they just always find a way to get it done. They're definitely to the bottom of that list, but that's what I would put them. But you put them right way. That's fair.
You're next, Hammer. All you.
So these next two teams are pretty interesting: Tennessee and Washington. They had two. Just wow. Let's just unload this money. Off seasons. Let's just bring in big names and whatever. Who cares their age and this and that. Let's see what happens. This is tough. Tennessee. Where would you put Tennessee, Jenks? I need your advice. Would you
Uh,
put them the right way because they got weapons for Will Levis? Would you put them wrong way because they spent a lot of money on a lot of, maybe mid, I don't know, kind of AG players? Do you put them in whale poop because you expect them to finish last in their division? I don't know. I'm trending
I'm putting
towards
them in.
wrong way, maybe
I'm,
right way. I don't know.
I would put them in right way because they
Right
have
way?
a sense of direction that the Jaguars and a couple other teams, like the wrong way teams, I don't see a sense of direction from them that I do from the Titans. I think they know what they're doing.
Yeah, they
They're
believe in Will
building.
Levis.
They're
It's just
building. Yeah.
some of the stuff they did, though. I don't know about that Calvin Ridley contract, but okay.
Now, Hammer.
No, I go right way. I go right way too.
Yeah, I think the right way is the way to go. But here's
Ha
where.
ha ha. Ha.
What was that?
Right way is the way to
Okay,
go.
okay, okay. I mean, that was worse than me eating W's over here. Anyways,
No, I was. All right. I thought you meant to do
next.
it.
No, I honestly
Yeah.
completely unintentional, but I'm just like that, I guess. So, anyways, next you got the Commanders, a team that got Jaden Daniels in the draft, right? That my number two quarterback. Then they go and they got good. I mean, they have good weapons already. They do. They got a tight end in the draft. They got Johnny Newton in the draft, a steal as well. Um,
That defense line's going to be scary.
yeah, the defensive line's gonna be solid, dude. This is a hot take, but I'm putting them in the fringe playoff teams.
Wow. All right, that was all Jenks, not me. I don't
And
really believe in
here's
that.
why. Here's why. The Commanders. Let's think about it.
I put it right way, but okay.
It's they're very very low on the fringe playoffs teams, but
They should be like over here.
yeah, a little bit further down. But
Over here.
the but the Commanders with Jaden Daniels, they could be an explosive offense. Like they just could be. And if their defense is any good, with their new head coach Robert Quinn over there leading the defense, dude, I think they could be better than the Cowboys this year. Cowboys haven't done anything. They got Dak. They have CeeDee Lamb. They have a solid regular season team. But I just think the Commanders, dude, could be something young and special. I just think they could be. I just think Jaden Daniels gonna. Of course, this depends on him learning to slide. If he doesn't learn to slide, he's gonna be killed within 5 games, like Anthony Richardson. But I think they're an exciting young team that could possibly make the playoffs, and they're fringe for a reason. I think they'll be close if they don't make it, and if they make it, they'll be very bottom of the playoffs. So that's my take.
That's Jenks' hot take. I don't
That
believe
is
it.
my hot take.
I think they finished third in the division, probably win like 6 games, 7 games. For me, I would put them in the right way. I don't know about French, but you do you. All right, so me and Jenks are gonna update this a little bit. We're gonna after we're done recording this, we're gonna put them in order that we feel like, I think, like,
Left to
let's
right.
just say, like, look at fringe, right? Like Miami's down here, or like Cincinnati, they would be kind of more up, right?
Yeah.
Maybe a team like the Falcons and Saints would be a little bit more back. So we're gonna put them in order, and then we're gonna post it on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, this and that, so you guys can see the true list in order and make your comments and everything. But yeah, there you go. Juggernauts, contenders, fringe playoff teams, right way, wrong way, and yes, whale poop. Those are the NFL tiers right now on May 13th. This could change. There could be trades, free agency. I don't know. There's some dudes still out there, Justin Simmons, but this is post, free agency and the draft. This is what we got. So yeah, um, that's going to do it for this episode. I just want to say that, I got a quick alert on my phone. I know that you guys, this can be old news. I just want reactions from Jenks and myself. It came out. So it looks like Dallas and Cleveland are going to be playing week one. That just got leaked. They're going to play week one. So those are two fringe playoff teams, as we have listed right now. And Tom Brady is going to be in the booth for this game, helping call the game. So, Jenks, what are your thoughts on that week one matchup and Brady in the booth?
I think the Browns will beat the Cowboys. Starting off with that. Starting
Okay.
off quick. And Tom Brady in the booth, I think could be solid. Obviously, he's a smart guy. He knows what he's doing. Um, I think it was kind of funny how he just stole Greg Olson's job, like just like that, just because of name. Because Greg Olson's been doing a great job over there at Fox, and Tom Brady just came along and was like, "Yeah, I'd call a few games," and they just paid him a shit ton of money. But I think it's gonna be a solid game. And Tom Brady's first game in the booth. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, that's a fun week one matchup. One that I will definitely be watching on Sunday because the Packers play Friday night, week one. So I get to sit back on Sunday knowing the Packers are 1-0, watching the games. I'll get to listen to Tom Brady call the game. Be interesting. That's a good game. That's a good game week one. Maybe that's the 4 o'clock game of the week. Because you're looking at two playoff teams. I don't think it says. It's probably in Dallas.
That would probably be the 4 o'clock game. Yeah,
NFL.
I think it would be at 4 o'clock.
Oh, it looks like it's in Cleveland. I think it's in
Yeah,
Cleveland.
Cleveland's winning. All the barking is going to get to Dak.
It's in Cleveland, but yeah,
Scare him a
but
little bit.
probably a 4 o'clock game because it's the Cowboys, and yeah, excited for that. On Thursday we're gonna be coming right back on, making a video talking about the schedule release that is taking place this Wednesday on the 15th. So we're excited to break that down, some key games, Thanksgiving games, Christmas games, all that. And yeah, kind of a dead period right now in the NFL offseason, but stay with us. We're gonna make it interesting. We're gonna get some guests on, get some debates going. If you guys like this tier list, we can keep it up. We can do QBs, running backs, receivers, corners, whatever. We can do positions. And yeah, let's have a fun offseason. We're about 4 months away, a little less actually. And yeah, Jenks, closing thoughts before the Thunder lose tonight.
Thunder are going to even the series. That's all I care about right now. My mind is blank. I'm excited for it. Gonna have a Jack and Coke, my superstition. Every time I've had one so far, we've won, except for last game. But then I didn't do it, or except for game 2, I didn't do it. Or I did do it, we lost, and then game 3 didn't do it, we lost again. So got to go back to it now. So we'll see how it goes. Superstitions, you know how they are. You know how they are.
Yeah. All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Jenks Pod. You could listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube at Jenks Podcast. If you watch on YouTube, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you guys on Thursday with reactions to the schedule release. Let's go.